Lord, we made it to see yet another day. A day that everybody didn't make, but we did. For a reason, and you did, and you're watching it. This show, meaning the Unks in the building. UNCS. Unks in the building. The Unk, Byron, is here. Along with the fantastic Auntie Stacy.
Hello.
We will once again be reading Reddit stories.
Yes, we will. But I have a question for you first.
I have an answer.
I
for
want
you.
the Unk's thoughts on this.
So instead of Unk's final thoughts on the timestamp, we're doing some Unk's first thoughts.
Yes, just
Okay.
Unk's perspective, thoughts.
Initial thoughts.
All right.
All right.
What's one green flag you look for but rarely say out loud?
Well, I'm not dating anymore.
Well, let's
But-
talk about if you were dating. Or even in friendships. But let's do it as a dating perspective.
I gotta shift this over.
So he gets to shift his over.
Yeah, because yours.
And I can't touch the
Because
mic.
the thing is, it was in front of your face last time, and I want people to see your beautiful face.
Okay, Byron.
Okay. Green flag. I believe in the need for all relationships to survive and not be parasitic in a negative manner. I'm gonna explain that. You need to stay connected with givers. You cannot connect with a taker. What I mean by that is, if you're a person who's always saying, give me, what can you do for me? And not how I can add to our situation, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Friendship, relationship, family member, I don't care.
Right.
I'm not doing it because that's going to drain me.
Right.
In successful relationships, you need both parties to keep pouring into one another, so nobody's ever empty. If a giver connects with a taker, eventually the giver's going to give out.
Yeah.
They're going to be
Might
drained.
take years and years and years, but eventually you get there, right?
They're going to give out. So what I'm looking for is selflessness. One of the things specifically that made me say, hey, look, this is the woman I want to marry when it came to you, was giving it to homeless people. It's what you do for people who can't do anything for you. They may not be in position to do anything for you, or, if you're just doing stuff without looking for anything in return. That's a different level of character. You want to see what somebody's doing when nobody's looking, because that's who they really are.
Right.
That's a green flag I'm looking for. To sum up, selflessness and not selfishness.
Yeah, that's a good one, Monk. I have another one for you. Do you have
Sure.
one more time for one more? Okay.
What do the people want? The people want another one, and the people will have another one.
Okay. How do you know when you're emotionally safe with someone?
If you'll go to sleep by them.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, really?
Yeah. You're going to go sleep. Let me stop being silly.
Serious?
But no, honestly, if you go to sleep in front of somebody, you trust them.
Or just you're really tired, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but, just in general.
I hear what you're saying.
But you said emotionally safe.
How do you know you're emotionally safe with someone?
I think that's a tough call, because I think some people divulge too much information to people they shouldn't be.
Right.
A little too trusting, a little too open with it. but to feel like you're emotionally safe is something that's needed, and I think is even challenged in most relationships and marriages. But it's when you feel comfortable divulging information that you may not tell anybody else, and you feel like, okay, I know if I confide in this person, I'm not going to hear it back. I'm not going to have it thrown back in my face. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be something brought up later, and I don't have to worry about the dynamics of our relationship changing, right? Mm-hmm. So one thing I seen is this Instagram post. I didn't send it to you, I don't think. But this guy was like, men don't talk because basically the dynamic of the relationship in many situations changes if they start showing effectively chinks in the armor. He was saying like he can't. He was saying in his relationship, and it was crazy because I guess the wife was hearing it for the first time, and he was saying in his relationship he doesn't feel 100% emotionally safe because he says, if I say, well, hey, I'm shaken to my core in whatever situation, then at that point in time, as a protector, the wife no longer feels as safe as she once did, because she's looking at you like you're the strong person. And so whether she says it or not, his point was subconsciously something kicks in where it's, yes, I understand this person is being vulnerable in the moment. Yes, I understand everything's okay. And then the next time the situation comes, there is this internal dialogue, so to speak, of let me be careful because I don't want him to break. And now I also have to worry about my own safety. Mm-hmm. So subconsciously, it's kind of like the man is processing this on the front end, saying, I can't cry because I have to be strong. I can't divulge some of this information because I have to be strong, because the moment I look too weak, then while she may not take it out on me personally, she could potentially start moving differently. And I was like, I had never really thought about that beyond, I've always heard like, don't cry in front of a girl like that until you, like y'all are really locked in, don't cry, because they'll look at you like you're weak and you'll never get that original, this is my man back again.
I don't agree, but okay. I'm hearing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing is, like, that's something men are taught, like, hey, don't cry, just in general.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel boys like we have acceptable times to cry. When someone passes away, you have to cry out of joy, and it's like, oh, he's so sensitive, but even that, like, can't do that too many times. And then there's the extreme frustration moment, or extreme pain. You get a pass for a teardrop. You got to hit them with a Denzel tear, and that's kind of it. But to break down in frustration is something you can't do a whole lot of in general. Like, again, everybody doesn't think the same way, but there are women out there who will be like, and it's a phrase I absolutely hate, but it became popular to say, man up. Which means shut down. I don't think
that's very much
how it was used in the past.
I know, I'm talking about now.
No. Yeah, you're right. Now it doesn't happen as much anymore.
You can't even say that and get very far with it.
Yeah, it doesn't happen much. I will agree there. It doesn't happen anymore to the degree that it was happening, but it was happening like a lot.
Of course. Yeah, of course. I'm talking about only recently that's been a thing. It's like, even now, like, like, even this is off topic, but people would make like penis jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, now I think like our daughter's age, when they grow up, they'll probably be like, why would you make fun of somebody for something something they can't control, because of the way society's kind of shifting into way more tolerance and acceptance for things. So it'll be like, why would that be a thing? The person can't control that. Why would you say something like that? It would be way more or less it wouldn't even be a funny thing. It would be like, what are you doing? So now you talk about that man up. I think it's such a strange time that we're in, because it's like you can't do anything, but you should be able to do everything, because the men, they can't eat
I remember saying
hot dogs.
Yeah, like the whole list of things.
Do one thing and it's an ick.
Right.
Create an ick.
Adding things to the list that men can't do when he breathes.
Right.
Oh, I hate the way he breathes. I hate how he chews. Why he breathes so loud? Why he chews so loud? Why he... Oh.
So the question was, how do you know when you're emotionally safe with someone?
When you can talk and don't have that boundary up. You know, that's it. And
I think you guys test that. You guys don't just come and just offload.
Absolutely not.
Immediately.
That takes time.
I think you test it, and then you build trust.
Yeah. That definitely takes time. You can't, not from the beginning, because they will, based on my experience in the past, a lot of women, if you start being like, I remember one time I had this whole dialogue with this young lady I was on the phone with after my ex situation. And she asked a question. I was like, you want to hear the truth? All right. And I told her everything. And she ended that statement. I'm going to say what I said to her. She ended that statement with, who hurt you? And I said, yeah, I just told you. And she was like, oh, and laughed about it. And I was like, see, this is why we don't say nothing. This is why we don't say nothing. Because you ask me a situation like, oh, what happened with... You don't want to hear all of that. Yeah, I want to hear. Okay. Who hurt you? I just told you who hurt me. You asked about the situation, I told you. So no, now I'm just this sad, mad at it. Okay. That's why I always say you talk to a dude who out here womanizing and going crazy, you can probably trace it back to the first person that's broke his heart. Right. And he ain't never recovered from it. It takes a lot of work. I think men love really, really hard. And when that first one don't do right, the first time. The first time. But afterwards, it's kind of like
tempered.
It's one way or the other.
There's a discussion we have had about
tempered expectations.
Well, just tempered joy.
Yeah, tempered joy versus.
And I think that's what happens. I mean, with everyone, but particularly men. Where you guys hold off on the joy, because I feel like there's a weight of the world on your shoulders. You're like, okay, I got all of these things, and when good things happen, you kind of like, okay, let me just I can
wait. Let's
see if let me see if the other shoe's gonna drop. But it's like you end up not living life to the fullest, not fully self-expressed, because you're trying to preempt stuff.
Yeah.
But the joy you feel in that moment, just because something happens afterwards that may not be the thing that you were so joyful about, doesn't take away from that moment. So just feel that joy.
Yeah.
It's afraid of being looking like a fool, I guess, or just afraid of like, are you afraid of jinxing it? What is it? Like, you're afraid of what?
It depends. Like, everybody's going to be different in that for that particular answer. But so I really think that if you have, it's one of them situations, again, I can't answer for everybody, but it's one of those situations where I feel like after being disappointed a whole lot,
right?
You kind of like, let me not let myself get too high or too low on anything. Because if I get too excited and this don't pan out, I'm going to be pissed. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I'm on a...
But that's not about expectations. I'm not asking you. So I understand tempering your expectations.
Right.
But when something has happened, or if you've achieved something, the joy is still tempered.
Right. Because it's kind of like, what's coming with this? What's next? And how long is this going to last? That's what a disappointment comes in. It's
that's kind of sad. Because... you've done the work to achieve something and you've done it, you're like, yes. There's no reveling in that. There's no joyfulness.
What's the next thing? It's
yeah, but to me, here's how I read it. Auntie's point of view. That is a lack of thankfulness, gratitude. Because if you were feeling true gratitude and you were in the gratitude, there's no other feeling but gratitude. Right. So it's about really sitting in the gratitude of that moment and being thankful that you were able to do the thing or achieve the thing or win the thing or do the thing. That's where real presence, being in the moment, being in your body, that's when it matters. That's real living. Because if you're worried about if I'm going to lose this thing, what's the point of doing anything?
This is true.
But I get it.
Sometimes it's a little bit of wiring. It's just a little rewiring that needs to happen.
Trauma.
Yeah, it's definitely a trauma response.
The trauma that needs to be dealt with.
It's definitely a trauma response. Well, we start behaving in a way, self-preservation.
But is it actual preservation?
I think that's a level of
rhetorical question.
Yeah, I think it's a level of thought that a lot of people don't reach. It's kind of like you're protecting yourself from pain, but at the expense of experience and joy.
Sad but true. Poignant. Is that how you say it? Now
Something
my brain's
like
making me question myself.
Right.
Okay. Are you ready for some story? Are you ready for some stories?
Yes.
Okay. This one is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole?
I love those.
Am I the a-hole for making my fiance's daughter's picky eating habits a deal breaker for us marrying? All right.
That's petty, but okay.
Let's listen. I will probably get a lot of flack for this, so let me start with the usual comments I anticipate. No, his daughter does not have sensory issues, is neurodivergent, or any other mental disorders that might affect her eating habits.
Lord Jesus.
She has none of those things. Okay? With that, I, 28 female, am a single mother to one kid, 8 female, and have been dating and recently engaged to a man, 27, and his child, 8 female.
Okay.
The first half of us dating, he was going through a court battle and only had every other weekend with his daughter. We mostly planned activities as play dates, and his daughter took a quick liking to me and I to her. Our daughters are best friends and very excited to become sisters. Once he was granted 50-50 custody, we started spending more time together, and I noticed his daughter is an extremely picky eater. As in, favorite foods are chicken tenders, french fries, and pizza. This was immediate sirens for me because I'm a believer in the importance of a healthy and well-balanced diet, especially for children, and had many conversations with him about it. I used my own daughter as an example. I'm in the military and I was away from her for 2 years between ages 3 to 5. When I received her back at age 5.5, she had become very picky, and I made it a priority to fix that bad habit. It took about 6 months and I had to ease her into it, but she now readily eats just about anything and is willing to try anything. I'm originally from a different country, so we visit my country and travel regularly to explore other countries. So that's another good reason having a child that is easygoing with food is important. It's important to me.
Culture.
All of that to say is that this has been a regular conversation between my fiance and I have shared the tips that work for me countless times. Bringing it all back to last night. We went to eat Chinese food and ordered several plates. His daughter tried 2 minuscule bites of new foods, pot stickers and So's chicken. After made faces at both and had chicken fried rice for dinner. She ate all her chicken and picked at the grains of rice to avoid eating any carrots or green beans. Her dad didn't say much other than suggested she try to eat some vegetables, to which she simply refused to, and he didn't push the issue. He told her no dessert if she didn't try to eat her vegetables, and when her fortune cookie came, he didn't stop her from eating or taking her lollipop home. It was frustrating to say the least to watch him not address what she was doing and at least require her to eat some of her vegetables. Last night, it all got to me, and this morning when we talked about it, I told him that his lack of serious effort in trying to modify and improve his daughter's eating habits are a deal breaker for me, and I would not be willing to combine our households until he made significant progress on it. He was obviously upset about this and says that I'm being unfair and not giving him enough time, but I see almost no effort in his parenting techniques or strategies since the 6 months he's had his daughter half-time. I know this might seem like such a trivial thing to break things off for, but I could write almost the exact same post about his daughter's education. This is her second year in second grade. She got held back due to not being able to read, and she's still reading on a first grade level, and his lack of effort in prioritizing and making significant progress in that as well. Once again, I have experienced this topic. When I received my daughter, she was also significantly behind on learning to read, scoring so low on her state reading tests in kindergarten and first that she qualified for free book programs. I had to turn that around as well. She now reads second grade levels and above, second grade levels above, and is a complete bookworm. I'm genuinely starting to feel that this man is simply expecting me to take over all the hard parts of parenting, and he's just waiting it out until then, and it's really starting to frustrate me. My fiance keeps saying he'll back me up on anything I want to enforce once we move in together, but I see this turning into a situation where I become the evil stepmother who suddenly changes everything, enforces new rules, and his daughter quickly resents me. I have no issues with his daughter. In fact, children are completely innocent in situations like this. This is a complete incompatibility in parenting beliefs, and it's causing me to have serious doubts and apprehension in combining our families. So am I the a-hole for delaying or even breaking off our engagement for this?
No. Stuff like when you're not on the same page as far as with ideals, I'm not an advocate of getting married in the name of, oh, but I love them so much.
Right.
Your marriage is going to be hell. If you go into a situation and this person is moving in a way that you can't get on board with.
Right.
I think that it's too many people's situations where they done got involved with somebody and it's like, oh, but I'm just so attracted to them. First of all, a lot of time that's trauma bonding. When we done had a similar situation that tore us up in the past, and they can empathize with you, and we just connect with them, and you just get married and have kids. Well, and these days and age, have kids and then get married, and you have this soul tie and this bond with this person for all this long time, and you look up and like, I really don't like this person. But you bonded on some dumb stuff without looking at, pause for a second, what is happening here? This person has no ambition. Our parenting styles are wrong. They're not on the same page. I've even seen people talking and they ain't even got the same religion, and it's like, what are we doing? And you just trying to make something work because you're attracted to it, when sometimes you got to pull your emotions out of these situations, be realistic about it, and just say, this ain't gonna work. Because that type of situation, I had this conversation a while ago. I don't think we had it on camera, but when I was saying you can't compartmentalize people. Like, who they are is who they are. So you can't have them be like, oh, this person is so disciplined at work and they're very regimented and they're organized, and then they come home and it's like, hey, well, this is a relaxed environment, so I'm gonna take my socks and shoes off and just throw them everywhere when I get home. I'm stripping my shirt, jacket, bra, whatever is just gonna be on the floor everywhere, and you just got to be okay with that. No, that person's gonna come home who's regimented and lose it. Like, yo, put your shoes up, pick up, why you took off your baseball cap and just threw it? No, clean. Like, it's going to be a problem. And those type of problems, yeah, you can compromise a little bit, but it's better to just be built the same way. And stuff that like that, as far as your values are concerned, you're going to fight over this kid, and this kid is going to fight you because you're not that kid's mom. And after a while, it's going to be, look, either he going to have to really get on board, or she's gonna fight you, and he's gonna be trying to play this middleman, nice guy situation, occasionally doing a show of, hey, you need to eat your vegetables, but not really, enforcing it.
And the thing is, the kid is 8. She's not 6. 8 is a lot older than you can talk to them about it and make it
kind of change it. Like, yeah, let's try such and such. No, it's like, I don't like this. I'm not going to try. It is. But they're still young, but at the same time, like if we're doing that, like you're right. Like a lot of that personality, it ain't in stone, but a lot of that's going to be a tough thing to shift in her, especially if that girl sounds like she's like that all over her life. Because she's not doing good in school or anything. Like she needs an intervention and she needs him to be different in order to be able to do it. And maybe she respects and loved him enough to change. But it doesn't sound like he wants to deal with that. Like it's going to require some difficult conversations and an entire different way of his being in order to be able to even push her in that direction. Like he got to really put his foot down, and he just don't sound that type of guy.
I think this is not about picky eating. Like she said, this is really about parenting styles. Yeah. And I think that those are the things that people don't think about future-wise, where, like how you say you get all excited about getting married and stuff. If she has a daughter that she's went through this before, so she's done the work. Yeah. And now both of you are 8 years old and you're best friends. Now if we're living in the house and such gets to eat fried chicken, why do I have to eat? You know what I'm saying? Like
that part. It doesn't have to undo the work she just did.
She might not do that. She might enjoy eating the foods, and that's the way that she bonds with her mom and stuff. But
that's a fight every dinner, though.
Yes, but it's not even a fight, because if he's not going to enforce it, it's gonna be irritated fight with him.
With him, yeah.
Not the
just
daughter.
Let her have the chicken fingers. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, no. If she has a certain expectation, they need to discuss it. Like, how can I explain this? Like, that should have been, how are we going to tackle this? Right. She's giving him tips and stuff, but okay, tonight we're going to go to dinner. Before you're getting ready, and we said, listen, we're going to go to dinner. We're going to go to Chinese. Can you have a discussion with her? Or we can all have the discussion about the foods that we're going to try and we're going to eat it and how to do it. You can have discussions like, oh, your brain doesn't taste the food until you take 5 bites. Right. So get them to eat it. Try it. Okay, you done it. Okay, now you got it 4 more times, 3 more times. You got to keep trying it in order to, teaching them. At 8 years old, you can teach them things. A lot more than a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old.
That's some Sesame Street mental block.
But I'm saying
try it, Elmo. Try it. And he's like, okay.
But there are grown folks that you have to do this with. Because it is what it is. But what I'm trying to say is,
yeah, I got you.
That they need to come together with a way we're gonna tackle this. Because she's like, we're going to dinner and she only ate this, but y'all, you knew this girl don't eat nothing on that menu that you ordered. Yeah. You yourself also knew that. So what were you expecting? You knew
she wanted him to be more like a certain type of way. But that needed to be a
discussion before the dinner happened.
And we don't know, because that could have happened and he still didn't put his foot down. But the thing is, you want this individual and his kid to be people that they are not. Yeah. And that's why. I
don't know if she understands his parenting style at all. And I guess because he's been away, the child was only there.
The kid getting held back, like.
Okay, well, we don't know the reason. Working. Well, he didn't have the kid for a while. There was a parent.
I thought it was half and half.
Now he has her half and half, but he had her every other weekend.
Got you.
During the custody battle.
Understood.
So he wasn't taking care of the kid in that way. Listen. Yeah.
He might be trying to be the good guy.
The child, we don't know the difference between, because the child's been through a lot. The child, we don't know. But the second time if you're being held back, baby, we getting a tutor. If you can't do it yourself, let's just say you're not good at that. I don't know how to sit there and teach this child how to do whatever. I don't know how to get the cards. Like, that some people are just not built like that. Get a tutor. Look at YouTube. Figure the thing out, because your child's education is super important. To me, the educational part of this is
more
way
disturbing than the food.
Yes, but the thing about it is that the food is an everyday thing, so that's in her face.
Mm-hmm.
But the lack of reading, that's a
Crazy.
major issue.
Yeah.
So I don't think she'd be the a-hole at
Not
all.
at all.
I think that's definitely something to figure out and rehaul, or just it ain't
We
gonna.
ain't
It's
on the
just not gonna
same
work because
page.
that's gonna be a hard battle between
Indeed.
you, for you and your daughter too. Because your daughter's gonna be like, well, this kid
Why do
ain't-
I have to listen, but
Right.
they don't?
All right, so people kept giving advice on how to get the child to eat.
Nobody cares about that. We asked about
But the thing is,
relationship.
she's been through.
Yeah, she
This.
know how to
She
do
knows
it.
the tips. She's giving him the tips, but she doesn't want to be the. And I think that her talking about me being the evil stepmother, the telling line in that was him saying, "I'll back you up with whatever you choose to do." Excuse me.
You supposed to be
We
doing it. You
need
her
to do
dad,
this. So
but
no.
you primarily her father, and she should be backing you up with getting
Correct.
that girl in line.
Correct. So somebody actually had a real thing. It had to go all the way down.
Right.
And they said, if you read the post, it's not about picky eating. It's about parenting.
Right.
He also has taken no steps to address his daughter's failure in school.
That part.
Of the two, that to me is by far the bigger issue.
It
OP
is.
is wasting her time, however. Expecting people to change or trying to change them is the most basic mistake you can make in a relationship.
They never
He's shown
change.
OP what he is. She needs to believe it and move on.
Please believe it.
Yeah. So someone else said, key phrase, he will back you up. Well, there you go. He will back you up when you are living together. He is not going to participate or parent until you are involved and sees his part as only backing your wishes. He will hand over the feeding, homework, etc., but not actually do anything else. He
Right.
doesn't view himself as a parent. He views himself as a cheerleader to you. He has outright told you this. He has opted out of parenting on these things, which also begs the question of what else will he opt out of when
Come
you
on.
live together?
Come on.
Household shopping and chores, transporting the kids, etc. It's
Red
not your
flags.
job to change or fix this for him. This is his viewpoint and he doesn't want to change that. He wants you to accept it and comply. His words and actions are quite selfish and entitled. So what is he actually bringing to the relationship? If you go forward, you will be the parent of 3 children, and he has told you
agree.
this. Look up the term bang maid. I don't know what that is. There is a word for this behavior, not the a-hole. Best to get out now.
If you're talking about it on the surface, bang maid, he's banging his maid. Maybe that's what they mean. Yeah.
I have to look it up now.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm proud of this lady actually, because most people who get little signs like this, they don't tap out.
That's what you said.
Is what I said.
Bang maid is a derogatory and humorous slang term for a woman whose role in a relationship is primarily limited to sex and housework.
My
It is
God.
often used to describe a person who feels their partner does not value them beyond these functions.
It's tough.
Considered
That's
offensive and is largely used in online communities and discussions about modern
learn
relationships, gender
something
roles,
new.
and perceived imbalances in domestic labor and emotional
My
connection.
God. Yeah, the internet's.
Sad.
Yeah, about this lady, like I was saying, I'm proud of how she moved, because honestly, like, there's a lot of people who would not do that, and she chose herself, to not go into a situation. You got all type of red flags, but I love them. You like engaged or nah? I gave up 2 years of my life, but we not playing sunk costs right now. I'm
Right.
tapping out of this thing.
Well,
I
the
don't
thing is,
care, because this could turn into 10 years of
She
foolishness.
sees a problem. She does the work to fix the problem.
He ain't
She
built
sees
like
the
that.
issue. He's just kind of like, I wanted my daughter. I didn't want to do the work. There's a
He ain't
lot of
built
people
like
like that who want the thing, achieve the thing, now don't know how to keep or maintain the thing
Or
or person.
they
or
want the
relationship,
thing
whatever the thing is.
without doing any work at all.
Yeah.
It's not even about achieving. They want somebody else to achieve it for them. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Next.
Next story. Story number
You
2.
know what? This thing gets on my nerves. But you know what? I got something for you. Because I clicked on it and I took pictures. So hang on. Because this has happened too many times. All right. Of course, That's not the one that I took pictures of.
Okay.
But there's another one. Am I the a-hole? 23 female. Am I the a-hole for choosing to go to a dinner with my 23 male BF for one of the 3 nights my family is in town?
Family's in town.
They're
I
23 years
imagine
old.
they don't live by. They came in town, and you're choosing to, instead of spend time with your family, to go out with your boyfriend all 3 nights.
One of the nights.
Oh, one night. Okay. All right.
One of the nights.
Just
one of the 3 nights.
Okay, go ahead.
My family, including my grandma, who I don't get to see often, is coming for my 23rd female graduation.
Oh, okay.
However, my 23 male boyfriend is graduating a day after me, so I'll be attending his graduation in the morning.
Okay.
My dad, 66 male, says I am the a-hole for planning and ongoing to dinner with his family. I am planning on going to dinner with BF and his whole family one of the nights my family is in town. The dinner is late at night, so I promised I would eat lunch and spend the whole afternoon with family. I will also be spending the rest of my family's time in my city with them too. Mm-hmm. Am I being unreasonable? I have been with my BF for over 6 years.
Oh, my
Dad
goodness.
hates him though, and we have a
that's what this is
serious
about.
relationship. I will see my family for 2.5 full days at least, but my dad says I'm being rude.
See, your dad just don't like him. That's all it is. You got somebody you've been around this dude for 6 years, and you're at the point of graduating. Y'all high school sweethearts.
Right.
You only have one graduation.
Yep. Well,
You know, as far as college goes, it's only gonna happen one time unless he goes back to school again. But most people, that's the one time.
But the thing about it is, like, she's gonna be there. She's going to the graduation in the morning, coming back, spending the time with the family, spending lunch with them. So what's the problem?
Dad don't like him.
Okay, but that you're being unreasonable, Dad.
Yeah, Dad just don't like him. She's
also 23.
She's a very much so an adult, and you might as well get ready for your son-in-law and tighten up. Because 6 years, 23, graduating college, like, if they don't have no problems and she's willing to, bruh, stop.
And he's celebrating something important. It's not
very important.
It's
it
not
ain't
like a random.
Remember that story we read one time, and it was like, the mom was in town or something like that,
It was for
and
no
she
reason.
wanted
him
to spend time with her mom.
Yeah.
But his mom, I can't remember the situation.
It was something important for him to do.
It was his brother died, and he used to spend
that's
the
what
day.
It was.
He used to spend the day, like basically
going to his grave,
going to the graveside, being by himself or whatever, and basically honoring his brother.
And she wanted to have meet for lunch with his mom, and that they see the mom once a month. Every time he saw the mom often. Anyway, no, it wasn't something trivial. It's a milestone. It's a big deal. She should be there.
He might not graduate from college again. It may not be. Just no.
All right. So the judgment was that he was not the a-hole. Your dad is being unreasonable. You're totally spending time with your visiting family, but your boyfriend is also celebrating a milestone.
And it's been 6 years, so the family knows this guy.
Exactly.
Most likely, the
Knows
family knows this. No, I'm talking about her family knows the boyfriend. If anything, I'm like, hey, all us going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're
y'all
not allowed to go to a graduation.
No. I'm talking about the dinner. I'm like, y'all. 6 years, our family should be knowing each other a little bit.
We don't know how many people. That might be too many.
Yeah,
people.
but you only get so many tickets to a graduation.
Right.
Anyway, the dad's being silly. Tighten up.
All right. Last story.
Yes.
Okay.
Story 3.
Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my husband's best friend he let himself go after he wouldn't stop teasing me about my crush on him in high school?
Ooh, that's tough.
I met my husband in high school, back when I didn't think much of myself. We had a biology class together. That's tough to even
say. Pause and say that one more time. I met her when I didn't think much of myself. Ooh, Go ahead.
Okay. I met my husband.
Am I reading too much into that?
No, that was a big deal.
It's terrible. Go ahead.
I met my husband back in high school, back when I didn't think much of myself. We had a biology class together and sat next to each other. I thought he was cute, but I didn't pay much attention to him until I found out he was close friends with the guy I had a crush on, who I'll call Jared. After that, I started talking to my husband more, and eventually we became close enough to hang outside of class.
This is so I met my husband. I didn't think I was attractive. I talked to him, but he was
friends with the guy who I thought was hot. So then I started talking to
him just to get, because that's a lot. Go ahead.
Eventually we became close enough to hang out outside of class, and through him I got to know Jared and the rest of their friend group. I tried for a long time to get Jared's attention, but he never showed any interest. When he got a girlfriend, I was crushed. My husband comforted me and told me I was beautiful and that Jared just didn't see it. Not long after, my husband confessed his feelings. Being a stupid teenage girl, I agreed to date him, and even though I still had leftover feelings for Jared, mostly because I wanted to feel wanted. But after a few months, Jared became single again, and I realized I didn't care the way I once did. That's when I knew I truly loved my husband, and only my husband. What?
This consolation prize love stuff is
But
crazy.
you realize that she loved her man.
Go ahead.
Because the other guy became single.
Yeah. Okay.
And then she was like, I
really don't like him anymore. He didn't pick me first.
She's teenager.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Teenager. Go ahead.
Years passed, and Jared went through a few relationships. His last relationship hit him hard. Sadly, his girlfriend cheated. And when that happened, she started coming over a lot to vent. Over time, he changed from the confident and attractive guy I once liked to someone more withdrawn, chubbier, and honestly, not taking good care of himself. That's when the teasing about high school started. At first, it was just him complaining about how he used to look, but then he kept bringing up how obsessed I was with him. I ignored it because I figured he was just reminiscing on his old days, but it didn't stop. Yesterday night, he came over again and went on the same rant about how popular he used to be. Then he threw in another comment about how I was so in love with him back then. God. Even added, I knew you liked me, but you were not someone I'd ever considered being with in high school. No offense. No, it was insulting.
No offense.
And even my husband looked uncomfortable. I was tipsy and fed up, so I snapped and said, doesn't matter, because you don't even look as good as you did in high school. I don't care if I was never your type, because you're definitely not my type anymore.
Well deserved.
He looked shocked. My husband gasped. She was
never supposed to stand up for herself.
My husband gasped. And I immediately, right, that's exactly what I had in my mind.
That Tracy Morgan. Gasp.
Right. And I immediately felt overwhelmed and apologized. Jared got up to leave, but he was too drunk to drive, so my husband took him to our guest room while I stayed downstairs in shock.
Not she in shock. She did what she was supposed to do. Said. But go ahead.
We barely spoke the rest of the night. The next morning, Jared left and my husband finally talked to me. He understands why I was upset, but he thinks I was wrong to say something so harsh when Jared is clearly depressed and struggling with his weight.
Understood.
I get that, but I'm still angry that Jared kept pushing the same hurtful comments over and over. It feels like he's bragging about how I used to like him, and it rubs me the wrong way. So Reddit, be honest but not brutal. Am I the a-hole?
No.
Side note, yes, this is real. Yes, this is a throwaway account. Yes, I know it's random to be writing this at 2 a.m., but I'm very conflicted at the moment. Also, hopefully, the formatting is easy to read and not annoying. I tried my best.
No, you're not the a-hole. The thing is, like, we see what's happened. It takes a certain level of, you needed to go on the, only that is like, okay, you go into counselor mode. Like, tell us what's really going on. Okay, I see you going through this depressed moment. So I'm going to let you beat me up and talk crazy to me, like, to get your self-esteem back up after this girl that cheated on you.
Right.
And it's just like, nah, man, you don't need to be somebody's punching bag, you know, just so they can feel good about themselves, to allow them to heal by beating you. No. you needed to say something. In fact, you need to be talking to your husband because your husband should have said something.
Right.
There's no way I'm going to sit here and let somebody keep being like, yeah, you remember when you was a goofy little lame, you used to like me when you was young. Yeah. Why would I let you sit in my friend or no friend, bro? You're not finna sit in my house and talk crazy to my wife about something
how she used to love you.
That's out of pocket. Mm-hmm. That's way out of pocket. Like, your husband is low-key weak for letting that happen. And then to come back and check you like you was out of pocket. No. Do you love this man? Won't you go be with him? Won't you go do that? Like that, don't come check your wife. We back to it again. Folks, protect your spouse. Mm-hmm. This is a protect your spouse moment. Your spouse needs to be your number one priority. If you are choosing your homeboy over your spouse, something is wrong. Mm-hmm. You really don't like this girl, bruh. You like this man more than you like your wife, because there's no way I'm letting anybody keep coming in here and tearing you down to the point where it's kind of like this happened multiple times. We're not doing that. Here. Go ahead.
It's very long. I'm going to condense because there's 2 updates and she's a rambler. So the first updates is her talking about defending her husband, because people had a lot of negative things to say about the husband. Because it was weak. Because she was saying, number one, my husband is not a terrible person. I still love him despite everything I mentioned and despite what I'm going to mention in the update. He's not weak or a beta like some people said.
Sounds like
he struggles to confront in situations like this directly.
That sounds weak. And
Jared has been his best friend since 5th grade. This is not a bond that breaks easily. Went to the same elementary school, high school, and university.
Hey, bro, that's perfectly fine. We can be best friends. You cannot talk about her.
Correct.
I don't care about none of that.
Since we're best friends, you should have known.
He should be able to talk to him and be like, listen, I don't care about nothing else. We can laugh, joke, do God knows what else, but you can't talk about this. This is enough. The first time we laugh it off. The second time, it's like, all right, bro, that joke a little old. The third time, you got to get up out of my house. It's time for you to go.
He said, if Jared weren't in such a low place, my husband would have been much harsher.
No.
I don't think my husband is perfect. He's done messed up things in the past, but so have I. And I believe people can change.
She needs to get her self-esteem up. Why are you saying it was so? That's one of them situations like the person hit you and it's like, yeah, but I was saying some really mean things. It's like, no man should have hit you. What are you doing?
Right.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Number 2, I do not have feelings for Jared. That ended years ago, and she goes into how she doesn't have feelings for Jared. That's good. Some people suggested Jared might have feelings for me, which is possible.
We didn't go into
that too long.
But no thanks.
Divorce is not an option for me. I'm very religious, and I take my vows seriously. All right.
Praise God. That wasn't a divorce.
She did not show. Yeah, people were saying to divorce her.
That wasn't a divorce. That didn't merit a divorce.
They're always saying divorce.
No, that didn't merit that.
I did not show my husband the post, even though many people suggested. He said there was a lot of sexist stuff towards the husband, saying the husband was. A lot of the comments felt sexist, is what she was saying, and harsh towards him. So she didn't want him to show him.
Good. Protect your spouse.
So he did say, my husband paused, and I asked my husband if it made him uncomfortable when Jared constantly brought up high school. My husband paused, and I immediately knew he was holding something back, kept pushing, and finally he said, during our first year of university, Jared started mentioning more during private conversations with my husband. My husband felt proud of dating me and kept saying things like he had invested in me, and that really hurt. But it got worse. He admitted that he used to brag about my body and looks to Jared, showing him pictures of me dressed up for date nights. Then it escalated. Jared ended up seeing a picture of me with no clothes on. Something meant only for my husband. According to him, it was an accident because he was scrolling through his photo album and the picture popped up. I don't know.
You ain't got your stuff hidden, my guy. You don't put that news on the regular.
My husband said that when Jared started bringing up high school, he was scared Jared might bring up what actually happened in university, and I would be furious. I'm disgusted knowing Jared has seen me like that. It makes all of his comments about me so much worse. And so she was talking about how she feels betrayed and she's upset.
Is she hot now? Did she get really beautiful after the fact? Because it sounded like
in university, she had
a glow up.
Yeah.
But she still don't like herself because she talk like, yeah, because it was my fault too.
So this is update 2.
Okay.
All right. Before I sat down with my husband, I called Jared. I know many of you said not to do this, but I followed a Redditor's plan. The plan was to accuse Jared of taking my husband's phone back in university to look for my spicy photos, hoping he would panic and reveal the truth. If he denied everything, I would say my husband told me he did it, so Jared would not feel the need to protect him. I know this was extreme, but so many comments insisted my husband was lying because they think he showed it to him. And it genuinely made me rethink my marriage. A part of me still hoped it was not true, which is why I'm relieved to finally know what happened. The call with Jared went like this. I told him I knew what he did in university. He was confused at first, then went silent, then insisted he never looked for my nudes. He admitted he scrolled through my husband's photos of me only because my husband gave him the phone, which matched the bragging story. He also saw a nude by accident. He said he immediately showed my husband and smirked because he thought I looked hot, and he thought my husband did a good job. My husband apparently grabbed the phone and begged him not to tell me. This matched what my husband told me later, except he left out the smirk.
Huh? So praise God for honesty.
After the call, Jared called my husband. I was angry at first, thinking they planned a story, but then realized my husband would not have told me about the call if he wanted to lie. I showed him the Reddit thread. He was upset and posted about our situation and worried Jared might see it, but he calmed down when I explained I changed names and details. When he started reading comments, he became defensive and began spiraling, asking why I would entertain them. He raised his voice until I said maybe they were right and maybe we should not be together.
Oh my
That
God.
snapped him out of it. He apologized, begged me not to leave, and kept reading. He agreed with some comments defending him and even thanked me for defending him in my updates. He told me through tears that he did not want to lose me. He talked about loving me, trying to make me feel secure, and never wanting to dehumanize me. When he did not, I'm fast forwarding. When I asked him why he didn't defend me when Jared made those comments, he said he was sorry. He saw it as an attack on himself rather than me. He said that he let it slide because Jared was depressed and did not want to confront him. He thought my reaction was me defending him and felt went too far, but he said he appreciated it and was only scared Jared might mention the nude photos out of spite. Long story. He told me that if I wanted to cut off Jared, he would. I wanted him to cut him off, he would.
Come on, pick your marriage over your friend.
I said our relationship mattered more than his friendship. He said our relationship mattered more than his friendship, and that although he would be upset, he would choose me.
Come on.
I said I was not sure what to do with that yet. I reassured him that I only love him, not Jared. I do want to clarify that I never felt unsafe around Jared, but I dislike the things he said about me. Right. Now that I know the truth, things feels different. Should I make him cut off Jared? I don't read. I don't care if she says yes or it's she writes too much, but That's the story.
So we like honesty. The husband seemed like he came in trying to be a stand-up guy for the most part. I understand trying to protect your friend,
but I realized him saying, "Oh, you were so into me." Remember that? I see how the husband would have taken it as a stab at him because he was probably seeing like, "Oh, you're trying to say that she didn't really like me."
Right.
That she liked you. So you're trying to, but that's not a friend.
Yeah.
I don't care how depressed he is.
Yeah,
a friend wouldn't do that.
People be going through stuff and he
no.
But that's not okay.
That's not a friend.
Yeah, it's not okay.
You're trying to dig digs at him and he's like, I thought it was more of a dig at me. And then he didn't realize how it was affecting her.
Right.
But this isn't working out. So I would cut him off because he's not a good friend. But what do I know? That's it.
Okay. Moral of the story is cut him off.
No.
I'm just playing. You got to do what's best. You got to do what's best for the longevity of you and your own relationship. I guess that's the thing. In the first case, she did not need to sign up long term with this situation. Once you saw the red flag, believe the red flag, and get out of there. Don't sign up for the foolishness. In the second situation, we're signing up. We've already signed up. We're in this thing. Sometimes you do have to compromise. One thing that you need to realize is you respect your family, you respect your parents, but your life is still your life, and you do not throw away who could potentially be your mate for the rest of your life for somebody to spend a couple extra hours of you just because they're being a little petty. Mm-hmm. So that's a case of you needing to choose a healthy relationship. In all of these cases, choose a healthy relationship and then protect it by any means necessary, as long as the other person is willing to try to protect it with you. Because we can't have no one-sided, I'm trying to protect the relationship and you aren't. Anyway, thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for continuing to like, comment, subscribe, watch these videos. I do hope you enjoyed this episode with these Reddit stories and information that we've shared tonight on Unks in the Building with the fantastic Auntie Stacy.
And your host, Resident Unc Byron.
I said it at the beginning. All right. Good night.
Good night.